It's expected China will have the world's largest economy by 2030. After COVID-19, China's domestic consumption has bounced back and evolving. They've recovered faster than anyone. So what is China's new generation consumer trends, national pride, and how are China's rising young generation redefining luxury brand consumption? Well, let's dive in there just now. Hello, Hendo here, and welcome to FMCG Insights, the Chinese decade, a phrase coined by analysts. In this video, I'll share emerging trends, challenges and opportunities for brands in China through the 2020s. 904 million Chinese people who are now using the internet, 897 million on mobile device, that's 99.3%. Over 180 million middle class households, that's more than the number of households in the US, the UK or Germany. In China, digital payments, live streaming and e-commerce functionality are completely integrated. I've seen this for myself even years ago when I was in China, how more digital savvy they are than anywhere else I've been. But it's hard to ignore China's international tensions in the current era. Tit-for-tat sanctions, clashing values, trust in digital currencies, Daoying China's TikTok, and ageing population. There's a lot going on. Today we see a backlash of Western brands like H&M and Nike in China. Expect more boycotts, Chinese celebrities cutting ties and affecting many more foreign brands. When relations turn sour in China, even famous global brands are delisted from e-commerce sites, purged from searches, maps, app stores and banned by state media. So let's look inside the headspace of China today. Identified by McKinsey and Company 2021 report just out, here's 5 accelerating trends in China since COVID-19. Number 1, digitalisation, digital tools becoming increasingly popular solutions, expanding from B2C to B2B. Number 2 is declining global exposure, rising importance of domestic markets, tech and capital. Think of Tesla alternatives. Number 3, rising competitive intensity in tech and agility drive winners to dominate market share. Number 4, consumers are coming of age, especially the young, are becoming more prudent and health conscious. Number 5 is private and social sectors step up. Private sector plays a stronger socio-economic role and social sector is rising. In another report just published by the Tong and Ying Group, cross-cultural consultancy, has focused on China's new generation consumer. The findings are the emotional responses to COVID-19 were mainly the body, community and environment. Together these have created the rise of a new impact-conscious consumer. The body positive has been embraced, older female models in visual marketing, plus size, body acceptance and healthy living. The Healthy China programme, beauty and personal hygiene soaring. In foods, farm to table is rising. Animal welfare is picking up. Also China-wide, standing with Wuhan became a big thing. The environment, China generated over half the world's coal-fired power in 2020, but this month's 5-year plan sets out its 18% reduction target, state policy-driven single-use plastic ban, emissions to peak by 2030 and committed to carbon net zero by 2060. You're also seeing a growth in sustainability luxury retailers. A big trend, cultural content has moved online and consumed in short video platforms. It's more about connecting and sharing than instant gratification. Early millennial adopters and Gen Z users built an urban trendsetter base, then developed into mainstream. Crafts and educational how-to videos has helped build a brand base and seen as a long-term trend. Short video apps have become dynamic new spaces for consuming art and culture content. Video length and the connection between short video and e-commerce are expected to grow through 2021. China's young consumers love brand collaborations across fashion and lifestyle brands. Brand partnerships are driven by the demands of a younger generation of Chinese consumers. Mega collaborations help to expand the reach of brands among a valuable demographic. growing individualism, and a desire for differentiation among China's Gen Z and millennial consumers draw them to mega collaborations. Branding is still a relatively recent concept in China, not constrained by long history and established narratives. Brands are more prominently displayed and adaptive. So brands are going collaboration first in response to consumer desires, direct to consumer. What was young brands with limited budgets for advertising, multiple collaborations become integral part of their brand identity. Brands build on collaborations to offer experience both in digital and physical content for a wider reach. An example, a Chinese liquor brand collaborated with the country's largest dairy producer on boozy ice cream treats for marking Children's Day. Adult ice cream targeting young adults opened a very photographical pop-up, partnered with dance and games brands to connect with young consumers using a combination of retro and futuristic elements. Building in national pride and cultural heritage, beauty and fashion brands are adopting distinctly Chinese style, whether ancient, old school or futuristic, appealing to millennial and Gen Z consumers who have come of age with a sense of national pride. Products where there's cultural creations in consumer nostalgia. Young consumers express a preference for made in China, but international brands can use collaborations with local partners as an effective route to establish connections. If you research where the cultural creations came from, it is the back of a Minister of Culture initiative in 2016. Like most overnight successes in China, has roots in a firm governmental push. But how long that trend will last? In China, there's a new focus on communities rather than simply paying for luxury brand logos. Young luxury consumers are fiercely independent. But I think there's an interesting opportunity here for Western FMCG or luxury brands. Now, brand values and messages that might have worked overseas may fall flat in China. Brands need to be nimble, localised and adapt their strategies to reach their customers in different ways. This is a generation that values experience and experimentation above all else. The latter doesn't always sit well with Western brand owners though. It's going to take courage and adaptability for Western brands to succeed in the Chinese decade. Who knows politically what will happen? More turbulence, I'm sure, but we know Chinese consumers enjoy shared experiences and curiosity, and that can drive us together. Will China need their centuries of wisdom by the end of the Chinese decade? Every generation thinks they're the most important, but what seems big today can be quickly forgotten as consumers move on. The trends here feel robust and long-term. Where you see government-backed is the direction of travel. I found this worldwide and even in my own country when looking at opportunities. Large infrastructure projects will increase general prosperity, but fiscally, the pension deficit demographic is a concern. 25% of 1.4 billion people will be over 64 in 2040. For now, it's an uplift in confidence for Chinese consumers, and the luxury sector is showing resilience. So it's more important than ever to do research, risk analysis, and understand where to find your target consumers. Is it tier 1 cities like Shanghai, Beijing, Shenzhen or Guangzhou? Think about where your brand fits in. Understand the social platforms. Tech rivalries in China make it difficult for users to navigate between, like WeChat versus Weibo and Taobao, Tmall by Alibaba Group for e-commerce partners, and rising star Pinduoduo, meaning piece together more and more. Marketeers can build trust with Q&As, long-form articles, brand live streams. 49% of Chinese consumers depend on influencers, KOL recommendations, and 84% trust online reviews by peers. So a niche can fly if you engage the right audience. There are many risks ahead, but also rewards. Being authentic and optimistic is timeless when the winds of change come, which they will. So tell us what you think of the Chinese decade in business terms, not politics. I'll leave links to the reports quoted in the comments. If you're interested in projects, contact us at hendotalks.com. As always, welcome your feedback. I hope this was useful to you in some way, and until next time, thanks very much for watching.